Hekate, great goddess, maiden, mother, and crone, in me and all that is. Give me eyes so that I can watch. Give me ears so I can listen. Give me senses so I can sense what is beyond this world and what is in this world. Great goddess, lead me into the nature of things and lead me back to my own soul so that I can recognize what is mine, what belongs to me, and what doesn't. Great goddess, with light, fill the night of this searching mind. So that's the prayer to Hekate that I found that is translated from Latin that I thought was super helpful to share with you all. Okay, moving forward, I just want to talk a little bit about Hekate and who she is and, you know, how she came to me. It's a pretty powerful story. So one day, it was actually the new moon in Gemini. It was 2 years ago or a year ago, some time ago. I was walking with my black dog on a trail, and as soon as I said that, Paco came. Come here, Paco. I was walking on the trail, and I had a really, really hard day. I had a little heartbreak that got activated and a wound that got activated, and I was hiking, and I was just trying to clear my mind. And it worked. I was clearing my mind, and all of a sudden this crow came down out of nowhere and landed on a branch. And it was at that very moment that something just came together in me. And it wasn't right away apparent that it was Hekate's energy. And once I got home and I did some research, and I was startled to find her and to find out more about her, because it was literally a visitation from her spirit. And since that time, I've utilized her energy, and she's strengthened me in ways that I can't even begin to tell you about. So she's the 100th asteroid to be discovered. And it's not by chance that she's often shown with her 2 black dogs, and that she was discovered by a man named Seawolf. So she's connected to dogs, snakes, and crows. Those are her 3 dominions. And if you think about dogs, they're very loyal. They have a sixth sense. And snakes are all about transformation and feminine power. Crows are about shape-shifting, their prophecy, and also looking out for each other. And then also crossing over. She holds a torch and a key. She also holds a knife. Her name reaches back to Egypt, all the way to Egypt, and it has to do with magical speech. And if you think about this, an invocation, and if you think about the new moon, she rules the new moon, the dark of the moon, and she's about magical speech. Well, there's no one else really that could really be the bearer of intentions and in making things come into the 3D from our speech and from the way we think about things. She also is connected to trivia and goes hand in hand with Hekate, and because she is the goddess of crossroads. And there's a story that goes back to Roman times where, you know, you wouldn't be able to cross over to one of these 3 roads unless you answered the trivia question correctly, which is kind of a little bit of trickster energy. And it has to do with Hekate, because Hekate's all about magical speech. So somehow she got connected in with this, and she's also about crossroads. So if you think about this a little bit more, it has a lot to do with the words that we speak and if we're going to be able to cross over. Now, I don't mean that in terms of crossing over to, you know, when you die. I'm talking about any time that you're trying to bridge where you're at to where you want to be. So if you're, for example, the whole trivia thing is if you are telling yourself that you can't do something, or you're telling yourself that you're not strong enough, then obviously you're not going to cross, you're not going to get that answer right. Okay. And so this is where Hekate just shows us our words are important. And our words are so powerful, and we don't ever want to take them for granted. Okay, so Hekate in the birth chart is a guide. Now, I just want to say a little bit more about Hekate before I get into the birth chart, because there's certain things that I didn't put in these slides that I definitely want you to know. First of all, Hekate is, if you think, she's always seen carrying keys, and this is what people believe, that she has entryway into other realms. She can straddle dimensions, and so she can be in one area and another, and this is like the shape-shifting energy. Also, people that work in birth or in death or in helping people cross over and come into this world, they have Hekate energy very strong usually in their chart, in their makeup. They just naturally kind of have this sixth sense. They're this intuition with knowing what is the right thing that they're supposed to do at that time for that person. So we often say that Hekate is like the midwife to the soul. And so she literally has to do with midwifing people in and out and off of the planet and into the planet, but also midwife to the soul of guiding you back to your soul. And this is really important when we think about hard transitions in our life. And when you think about her connection to snakes in particular, because snakes are all about transformation and about feminine power. And one of the things about feminine and the feminine power is in being able to transition through hard life circumstances. So we think about maidenhood, motherhood, and crone, and those are all they're encapsulated by Hekate energy. And so this transition, her is a way to transition and be a bridge to your next steps. It's really important. So when we look at her in a birth chart, you want to know which area of life to use her guidance. She's showing you, hey, I'm here. I'm going to offer you guidance in this area of life because it's important. So whichever house she's in is going to have that importance. Hekate also shows up to bring spiritual guidance back to your personal wholeness, to your personal soul. So you want to look at her connection to Pluto in your chart, her connection to Venus in your chart, and then also if she has a connection to the nodes in your chart, North and South node. She will show you hidden gifts and talents when you begin to honor her. So if you can honor her, and you can get creative with this, but if you know your house placement that she's in and what sign she's in, you can find a really creative way to honor her in that and in those flavors, so to speak. Okay, so the sign she's in, she's going to show you how you can access her energy. So example, if she is in Leo for you, you're going to access her energy by being creative, by being courageous, and by being playful. And if she's in Pisces for you, then it's through meditation, spiritual work. It's through, connecting with the ocean, maybe. Like there's so many different ways that you can utilize this, but really it's just whatever calls or speaks to your soul.